Hey, what's up, y'all? Welcome back to my channel. We're about to get into Love and Marriage Huntsville, Season 4, Episode 5, Coins to Make, Not Friends to Fake. So we pick up where the last episode left off when Kiki went outside to confront Tisha. She walked outside and says, "So who you on the phone talking about me to now?" And Tisha looking all silly in the face, and she like, "Oh, well, I was just telling Kimmy, about the situation." And she was like, "Ain't this what we here for in the first place? Because you keep running your mouth to other people about what we got going on." And Tisha's like, I'm just tired of going back and forth, and I thought we didn't have a problem with each other." And she like, "You know what, to be honest, we wouldn't even be friends if we weren't family." And I'm just like, so now you have an understanding of what that means, Tisha? Because when Kimmy said it, it hurt your feelings. But she's apologized for it, so I'm going to let it go. But it's just real ironic to me. So then, they continuing to argue, and Tisha's all bucked up. And Kiki had to point out to her, like, right now, you got somebody on the phone while we having this discussion. And she tried to hurry up and hang up the phone like, "Oh, I forgot she was there." And it was just like, did you, Tisha? Like, both of y'all got an issue with each other. Tisha trying to act like she ain't got an issue with Kiki, but they have underlying issues. And Kiki said that to Tisha, like, we need to have some type of conversation or come to some type of common ground. And Tisha's like, no, you need to have some kind of conversation and you need to find a common ground, because I'm fine. I'm just like, but the way you all puffed up in the chest and all buck right now makes me feel like you do have an issue, Tisha. Like, y'all do need to sit down and have a real heart-to-heart conversation, maybe without the cameras around. Because you, Tisha, you got a whole lot of animosity for a situation that you took part in. Move over to Martell and Marceau. So Martell goes to visit Marceau at Scope, and Marceau asks Martell about the book signing. Now, granted, Marceau asked, however, it's feeling like a smear campaign on Mel on behalf of Martell, because you just gotta really lay it on thick when somebody asks you about it. Yeah, I'm real embarrassed, and I, even though it's been days later, and Marceau was like, that's such a shame. Like, it was the kid's book. They should have let you go. And he was like, yeah, but, Mel says it was her week, so I almost have to respect that. And I said, no, not almost. You have to respect it. Like, at first, I thought Mel was being a bitch for not letting them kids come, but I should have known that Martell is a conniving son of a you-know-what. Do you hear me? Like, and he's playing victim and making it seem like, oh, woe is me. Like, nigga, you the reason you divorced. If we being honest, so everything that comes within that is just like, I mean, well, it ain't right, but this is where we are. Had you kept it in your pants, and in your marriage, and in your household, then you wouldn't be going through any of this. He says that he and Mel only communicate through emails. They don't even text or talk on the phone. And I'm just like, that's unfortunate. I don't have children, so I can't really sit up here and say what is a healthy way to communicate with your ex when it regards to the kids. I mean, I don't necessarily feel like y'all have to speak to each other like on the phone verbally. However, I feel like through email is just like, that's a bit much. But Martell, if you got a tendency to be stalking people and calling her phone and saying silly stuff, then she probably don't want you to have her personal number. It's a mess, child. Martell ends up talking to Marceau about his wine and how he wants to have, I guess, a tasting between all the guys. And Marcel was like, okay, when you trying to do that? Where you trying to do that at? And he was like, another guy's trip to Atlanta. And I'm just like, see, you being messy. You being messy as hell. And the fact that Marceau, like, don't be getting mad at the, even though it was a joke, but with all the things that have been going on this season, you would think that Marceau would feel away. But it seemed like every time when it comes to Martell, Marceau be crickets. Marceau don't be trying to go there with Martell like that. He'll go there with everybody else, including his own brother. But he do not be raising up at Martell like that. I wonder why. Child, they all got tea on each other. So after he looks like that, he was like, "No, I'm just kidding. Like, we just gonna, we gonna be having Bible study and we're not going to no clubs like that." I said, Martell, stop lying. You ain't been more finna have no doggone Bible study. You ain't been more finna not go out on a guy's trip, like, because why do y'all need to go to Atlanta to do this? Y'all can't do this. Y'all can't meet up in Huntsville. I don't know. It just seemed like some fuckery and some foolery. Then Martell says, I'm single, because Marceau ends up mentioning to him, like, ain't nothing wrong with you going to a bar or a lounge when you marry. And he was like, well, I'm single. I'm just like, you hear that, coleslaw? Like, you lately been doing all that, what she posted about her and Martell going on date night and all that. Meanwhile, he whispering in the background and shit. Then she finally, when he probably get a little lick in his system, let down his inhibitions, he want to go ahead and get in your life. Like, he still don't claim you, sis. But I guess if you like it, I love it, honey. Martell ends up asking Marceau if he'd be able to buy back into Scope. And Marceau says, while he values what Martell brings to the table and he thinks that he's a good businessman, he has to run it by Tisha, because she is the majority shareholder in Scope. And I'm just like, one would think that you would be a little nicer to your wife and treat her a little bit better when she got majority share in what y'all got going on. But see, Tisha don't require him to do more, so he can treat her any kind of way and know that she probably not gonna go anywhere. But I would tread lightly. I would tread super light, and I wouldn't be out here creeping allegedly if my wife, who bore 5 of my kids, like, alright, you gonna get if y'all watch Real Housewives of Potomac, you gonna get Michael Darby, because Ashley done filed for divorce, honey. Not to get off topic, but she secured the children. She signed some paperwork, and now she's entitled to money. Tisha, you've been married to this man a good long time, so you automatically entitled to half, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Anyway, then I forgot to mention that when they was talking about going to lounges and clubs, Marceau said something about, oh, you can't lose yourself in a marriage. You still should be able to do the things that you were doing before. And I'm just like, not all the things. Some stuff you probably gonna have to let go or do less of. But okay, Marceau. Then he gets in the confessional and says, because I don't really care about the opinions of other people. There's not a lot of people's opinions I care about, but the ones that do, I do. Tisha's on the top of that list. And I say, I can't tell. I cannot tell. This so far has been one of the few things that you felt the need to run by Tisha. Anything else, like, you don't be giving a damn about her opinion. So you care about her opinion when it comes to some of the business, but not when it comes to y'all life. Oh, okay. So back to Martell asking if he can be in Scope. Like I said, Marceau said he needs to talk to Tisha. But he offers to bring Martell in on a joint project that he has going on with Destiny so he can, I guess, basically test out if the situation would work if he was to bring Martell back on into scope. So, Martell agrees, and Marceau just said, at the end of the day, I want to protect my family and my company. So that's where I'm at with it, and I'm going to have to get back to you on that. And I'm like, I ain't mad at you, Marceau. You gotta do what's best for the business. Over to Kimmy and Maurice, and they didn't have a lot going on this scene. Maurice was mounting the TV, and he sit down and talk to Kimmy, and she just gave him the rundown about what happened between she and Tisha and Kiki. And she explains to Marceau that she was on the phone. She was still on the phone while they were going back and forth, and she tells him that Kiki went off on her because Kimmy was on the phone. Maurice was like, okay, so Kiki doesn't want Kimmy to talk to you. And I love Kimmy because she's so logical and understanding and has the ability that some people can't, to look outside of themselves about situations, even if the context may feel like it's about you. So Kimmy says no. She was upset that they were having a conversation about telling other people business that these two individuals have going on. So it wasn't really, it wasn't about me at all. And Maurice said, yeah, it's gonna come to a point where Miss Wanda gonna get involved, and then they gonna drag you in it. And Kimmy said, no. I don't want to be in it. Like, my name is Paul, and that's between y'all. Like, I don't want no parts. And he was like, believe you me, they always find a way to drag Kimmy in the mess. And I'm like, Maurice ain't never wrong. Like, they do have a tendency to end up dragging Kimmy in the middle of the BS. And Kimmy is over it, and I'm over it for her. I'm sorry, sis. You always get in the middle of the BS between your in-laws. Child. Destiny and Maurice. So I found this scene extremely interesting, and then it took a slightly messy turn. Because, so apparently Maurice is helping Destiny refinance her home, and she has less than a year to get it done. And she explains to Maurice, why her financial situation is the way it is. She said when her and LeBerick divorced, that her finances took a major hit, to the fact that she had to get on financial assistance, and the businesses took a hit, and she didn't want to uproot her son. She didn't want to shake up his world by moving. And that's the first thing that had me questioning, like, okay, so is that baby not less than 4 years old, 3 years old for that matter? Like, that baby ain't gonna remember none of what is going on at the age of 2-3 years old. Like, that baby don't have an understanding of what's going on. Baby don't retain memory to about 6. So you probably would have been fine moving your baby if that was going to put you in a better situation financially. Secondly, she said she had to Madani has been open and closed back and forth because she's going from her savings to support her business. And Maurice said that's never a good idea. It's not sustainable for you to do that. And I just want to know, where is LeBerick Sr.? Like, I understand that y'all are divorced, but the fact that she's going through all this financial trauma, and she got your infant son with her, it would seem to me that you will be helping this woman in some kind of way. And I feel like it's real effed up for LeBerick to just get off scot-free. Like, somebody is not telling us something. And it's starting to get on my goddamn nerves because I don't know who the fuck to be mad at right now. Because right now, I'm starting to get irritated with LB Sr. Because where are you or your family members? Why are you not helping this woman? This is your son. So you would let her damn near be homeless on the street, or have to even get financial assistance, government assistance. At the point in which she had to get on food stamps, like, I'm sorry, that's making me question what LeBerry got going on, or what the real situation is as far as this divorce is concerned, because I'm annoyed. I felt bad for Destiny when she talked about this, because whatever mistakes were made in that marriage, you all had a child, and that baby don't deserve to be caught up in no mess, and this is a mess. And he should absolutely be financially, still at the very least, taking care of daycare. Destiny says she can't even be she can't be in Madani physically because she has to be at home taking care of the child. And it's just like, I don't understand why he's not paying for childcare. Like, am I tweaking? Let me know if I'm tweaking, because that don't make sense to me. I need some answers, and quickly, because she keeps telling us the same thing over and over again, but I'm not understanding where the why is coming in. So Maurice then says, I heard you needed a village. I'm thinking this fool about to offer for he and Tisha to be her village. And he bringing up damn Melody. I said, Maurice. The producers had to have put you up to that, because that's just ridiculous that I'm talking about my financial woes and you like, yeah, so about this messy shit between you and Mel. And I'm just like, okay. Seemed out of left field, but all right. Destiny then explains the situation to Maurice, and Maurice then, in the end of that, asks her, so with you knowing what you know now about Mel feeling like Tisha is her enemy, then do you think that you would still be friends with Tisha? And it's like, and now that I'm thinking about it, I'm going through it in my head. First, Destiny said, yes, she still would have been her friend. But then later on, when she's talking to Mel, she's saying, well, if you would have made that clear, then maybe I wouldn't have. And it's just like, okay, well, Destiny, which one is this? But anyway, we're not there yet. But she says, yes, she'll still be her friend. And she said over this year, her and Tisha have gotten really close, and she's been a confidant. And she recently had a situation where she wished she could have called Mel, but she called Tisha, and Tisha was able to help her through it. And she says she appreciates Tisha being there for her. Let's skip over to Tisha and Marcel. So they open up the scene with Tisha and Marceau having a conversation about Miss Wanda. And Tisha wants Miss Wanda to shadow some of the employees and Marceau at Black so she can start to get the behind the scenes of running a business and getting the business aspect of, running a restaurant. And this is one of the off times that Marceau ain't got a whole lot of smart shit to say, and he just automatically was like, yes, I'm willing to do that. And I'm just like, finally, you not being a smart ass for once. I appreciate that. Then, of course, Marceau ends up asking Tisha, how does she feel about Martell buying back into Scope. And she ended up saying the same thing, how she values what he brings to the table, and she believes that he's a great businessman. But she don't trust him not to be a snake in the grass again. She feel like he came for their marriage by bringing up the 20 girlfriends. They did a flashback scene of when Tisha Marceau and Martell were having a conversation, and Tisha basically confronted him about, saying some disparaging things towards their marriage. And she just doesn't, really trust him not to be that person again. Like, if you do it once, your ass will probably do it again. So I don't really, I'm not feeling it right now. Give me some time to marinate on it. So then he mentions that he probably will have, Marceau mentions that he will probably have Martell work on Destiny's project with him. And Destiny's project is, she wants to expand Madani. I guess the space that she has that Madani is already in has different rooms that she wants to have a content room. She wants to have a salon and various things that could generate several streams of income. So kind of like an empire powerhouse type thing. So and she like, are you doing this to kind of like try it out and see what's going on? And he like, yeah, it's just a trial run just to see how things go. I'm just like, well, I mean, I can't be upset with y'all about being skeptical about Martell buying back into Scope. But if he agrees to do his part and keep it business, then I think you guys should be fine. But at the end of the day, I still don't trust Martell because he still got them sneaky ways of throwing people under the bus when he feel like too much heat is on him. So maybe it is the best thing for y'all to not do it, y'all. I'm talking like I'll be so forgiving. And I do. I give chance after chance until I'm just like, okay, enough. Like, I'm not finna be doing this with you. Let's skip over to Mel and Destiny. They meet up at a restaurant to have a conversation about everything that's going on. And Melody opens up the conversation and asks Destiny, like, so why do you think, what do you think is going on? And she's like, I honestly don't know. And Mel is like, so you really don't know? And she's like, I mean, something is off. And she's like, well, absolutely something is off. Okay, so here's the thing. Destiny, you starting to look like a liar, sis. And I've been trying to give you the benefit of the doubt, but this scene, your body language, the way you was looking, had me feeling like you was like, damn, I've been caught. Because Mel brings up that at the reunion, Destiny said that since we wrapped, me and Mel have not spoken. And I don't know if you should have just worded that differently and said, we have not spoken like we used to. Yes, we have spoken, but it's not in the way of like every day on the phone for hours. It's just been reduced to text messages. So now Mel can throw in your face that you a liar. And I have the receipts to prove it. So Mel pulled out her phone and she said, after we wrapped, I did text you a couple of days later. And she started pulling out the text message September 6th, September 8th. And Mel says, I said hey to you. And she said, well, I said, what you up to? And she was like, I was saying nothing much, chillaxing. And Destiny said, I never say chillaxing. And she was like, I have it right here. And she showed her and she was like, okay. And she's just going September 9th, September 10th. And some of those conversations, Mel initiated. And it's just like, looking kind of bad, sis. So when she laying all her receipts on the table, Destiny ain't really have nothing to say. Mel also mentions that she finds it funny how Destiny expected more from her than she gave to Mel, because when Destiny was going through her divorce, she didn't hear about it until after the divorce was finalized. So now she's saying, so now when I'm taking the time for myself to get myself together, you feel some type of way, and it's just like, well, why do you feel like I owe you something that you didn't give to me? And I'm just like, I mean, hitting you with cold hard facts here, Destiny. Like, Mel, I'm assuming, felt slighted, and she considered Destiny a sister. So the fact that you going through all of this and you couldn't tell me, but then to turn around after your divorce is finalized, you all of a sudden need this village, and it's just like, well, I didn't feel like you needed me as a village. Like, you didn't call me, you didn't tell me what was going on with you in order for me to be there for you. So, I'm cool. Like, I see where we at. So I feel like Mel felt slighted and changed the way she saw her and Destiny's friendship. And then Mel also feels some type of way that you linking up with an op, and Destiny keeps trying to say that, oh, well, you told me that you didn't have a problem if me and Tisha got to know each other. But me personally, I feel like it depends on the circumstances. I have absolutely stopped befriending somebody because they did something to a mutual friend of ours that could have possibly been detrimental to their marriage. And I stopped messing with her. For one, I thought that shit was foul. For two, I was closer to this friend anyway, so that's where my loyalty was. On top of that, this friend was such a good person, and I know her energy, and for somebody to do that shiesty shit to her made me feel away. And if you could do that to them, then you do the shit to me. So I feel where Mel is coming from. But Mel then says, this is the first time Destiny said something about her feeling away, about her not being a good friend. It's just like, I don't know, Mel. I think she voiced that y'all haven't been talking like that, and she, feeling some kind of way, and Mel was just like, well, I have my own shit going on, so you're just gonna have to deal with that. But Destiny, you can't be upset, because when you was going through your thing, you didn't make her feel like the sister that she thought she was to you. So I understand where Mel is coming from, and I usually don't, but with this situation, Destiny, even if you weren't talking shit with Tisha, which it kind of seems like you are, the optics are bad. It looks like Tisha not cool with Mel. At the moment, me and Mel are not in a great place. So let's link up and talk about our discrepancies with Mel, about Mel. That's what it looks like. Even if that isn't the case, you can't say that it don't look bad. And I'm pretty sure that Mel was, kitchen table talking to you about the shit that she had going on with Tisha. So then for you to sit up there and befriend her, it's giving snake, kind of. Now that I'm thinking it through. So I'm sorry, sis. You looking kind of guilty. And then on top of that, Mel feeling some kind of way that she's doing a lot of kicking it with Martell. She said Martell said he done pulled up to the crib and y'all, be kicking it. It's just like, why do you continue to hang out with this man that continues to drag me through the mud every single day? So Mel's main problem is you messing with people that don't have my best interest and have a lot of negative shit to say about me, and I'm good on that. And it's just like, I cannot be upset at Mel about that. Like, it is what it is, Destiny. You need to evaluate your friendships. Because Tisha got a tendency to turn on folks. So I wouldn't be too much telling Tisha my business. Tisha can sit up and arguing with her cousin about spreading mess around. As soon as Tisha get upset with you, or as soon as you say something that it feels like you've slighted her, Well, now she gonna tell some of your tea that you really didn't want out there. So I would be careful who you vent to, honey. And that's real talk. Next week's episode is gonna be super eventful because we're gonna get Miss Wanda, and Miss Wanda always get when she get on the camera, honey. And then Destiny and Martell gonna have a scene together, and it's just like, what is the shit that Melody is talking about? Like, you steady kicking it with this man. It's just like, I wouldn't, me personally, yes, you knew Martell first. Yes, y'all was friends first. But as a woman, I would have distanced myself a little from Martell because it was fucked up what he did to your friend. And if Melody feels some kind of way about it, if somebody making my friend feel some kind of way and I'm close to this friend, and you know the person that's making them feel some type of way is on bullshit, I would distance myself. But that's just me, child. This has been Love is Marriage Huntsville. And you guys drop down in the comments and let me know what you thought about this episode. See you later.